30 years in postgraduate education on European Union law, economy and policies. The college organizes the Diploma and University Master in Advanced European Studies. Graduates typically organizations, multinationals, law firms and consultancies dealing with EU affairs and project management. The alumni network includes around 1,000 graduates from over 60 countries.
Okay, great. Welcome everybody to this session about the European studies from the European Foundation in Parma. As you just heard from the introduction video, you joined to hear more about this Diploma and Master in Advanced European Studies. So thank you all for taking the time. Well, we're going over to the presenters that we have lined up for you in just a minute. But before that, I'd like to briefly explain to you some of the options that we have, interactive options to interact with us throughout this session. So first of all, you can tell us in the chat where you're logging in from. That way we have an idea already which countries are joining. And also, I open up a poll question to know a little bit more about you, in this case, which degree you're currently holding, and you can already answer that if you like. So I will open up some more polling questions throughout the session, so keep an eye out on that. Also, there's the option to ask any questions. You can do that through the panel on the right called questions. Make sure to write it there, because then I will be able to read them out at the end and make sure your questions are taken care of. Okay, and last but not least, we have a React button, a little fun button to make it even more interactive. At the bottom of the screen, you see a button called React. If you click on that, exactly, you can tell us a little bit your reaction, just to make it more fun for the presenters, so that they see you're paying attention and that you're maybe also liking what you hear. So thank you for that. Well, without further ado, of course, you joined to hear about the presenters about the program. So we're going over to the presenters that we have lined up, and we will start with Luisa, who will introduce herself, followed by the rest. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Luisa Giorgetta, and I've been working at the European College of Parma Foundation since 2003. I deal with student admissions and the necessities throughout the year, secretariat, and a little bit of organization throughout the course. Nice to talk to you, and I will be back in a few minutes after also my colleagues and director will have introduced themselves. Thank you. I'll leave the floor to Lorena now.
Good morning to everyone, and thanks to be here. I'm Lorena, one of the two academic assistants of the DASE Master Program. And then I will speak to you later about our program. Now I will leave the floor to our scientific director, Alfredo De Fe.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me finally. First of all, let me say that speaking to a group of invisible students is a new experience to me, but I'm happy to do it. And thanks, Luke, for organizing this event. Let me say just a few words about myself. I'm Alfredo Feo. I'm Italian, but I live in Belgium since many decades. I have most of my professional career in European institutions, but since about 10 years, I'm more in academic environment, in different positions and in different institutes. But I don't think you are here to listen about me. But I want to tell you something about the European College, which I have the honor and the pleasure to direct the academic, the coordination of the academic studies. Before getting into the details of what we do, our courses and methods, I would like to say what we don't do. I would start to say that if you are interested in an academic career and you are looking for a master that can lead you to a PhD, our project is not for you. If you are looking for in-depth preparation in a very, very specific area of European affairs, our offer is not for you. If you are looking for an easy way to get a master, I would say these courses are not for you. But let me try to be more positive. First of all, what is our mission? Our mission as a college is to train on new institution functioning policies with the aim of giving tools for building careers in European Union as well as national institution, public administration, professional association, corporate world, and private practice. So let's say we are aimed for, let's say, very practical approach, and this you will see later, let's say, more details. Our program aims to prepare students to navigate into what we call generally European affairs at 360 degrees. As you know, Europe is not a static construction. It's a project that is constantly shaped and adapting to the new, every day to new scenarios, including geopolitical scenarios around us. Most of what happens is not codified in books, but is instead outcome of politics and negotiations. So the first specificity that I want to draw your attention on is that the 20% of our teaching staff comes from the academics, various universities in Europe, I would say, but we have 80% of our faculty come directly from the professional world, European institution, private and public organization. And this, I think, is one of the most important and most specific characteristic of our structure, of our. So through those people, you can get, let's say, not the foundation that you will see more in the academic introductions, but you will see the practical organization of the European Union. And I think this is very important. Second point that I want to draw your attention is the multidisciplinary approach of our program, which offer flexibility, but also possibility to choose from a large number of options, and Lorena will present you this in detail during the presentation. I have often mentioned European affairs. What it does mean? European affairs are all the complex mechanisms of decision-making, legislation that concern the activities of industry, trades, of course, member states, but more particularly that have a direct impact on the citizen. How to influence and shape this legislation, how to implement it at best in the different countries is a huge challenge. People with competence in European affairs can make the difference in the EU bubble and outside. I will stop now and leave the floor to Luisa and Lorena for a more structured presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor De Feo, for your introduction. So we will now start with a presentation. I will go through the slides we have prepared for you. We are going to present today our program, our main program that is named Diploma and University Master in Advanced European Studies, under the acronym of DASE, or DASE in Italian. This program has been going on for several years. Actually, we have started working at the European College of Parma. We started it in 1988, and the DASE program, the Diploma in Advanced European Studies, has been going on every year since 2003. So we are now come to the 21st edition of it, of DASE as it is. So as we see from our first slide here, the European College of Parma specializes on the EU, as our name says. So we deal with European Union law, economy, and policies in general. So most policies of the European Union. Our mission is that of training, giving training to young people, but not only, also to adults, and training and information on the EU. And with the aim of, especially in the case of graduates and students, giving them tools to prepare for potential careers at European level. So not only in institutions, but also in the world, in the work environment in Brussels and around Europe, in public administrations, in companies, in the legal area, in very many different areas that we will look into later on in the presentation. Also, just to let you know that now a former student from our college will be joining in about 10 minutes, and she will stay with us for a while during the presentation, because she will give her experience, she will illustrate her experience. She now works at the European Parliament. The study program of the Diploma in Advanced European Studies, as I said, gives an outline on how the European institutions work, and also illustrates history and the main points of the European functioning and structure during the first semester, and then during the second semester, as we will later see, we will go into details of different policies. The approach of the course is multidisciplinary. As Professor De Feo said at the beginning, if you're looking for something very, very specific, like a niche topic about the European Union only, then this is something different, because we deal with, we give an overview of basically most, or I would say almost all, the topics that are dealt with at European Union level on a multidisciplinary way. It is also a multilingual program. Our most used language is English nowadays, but also we have courses in Italian, and we also provide language courses in French, as we will see later. So these characteristics, these features of the course make it a very good tool for growing several skills, not only notions about the European Union. As Professor De Feo said, the faculty of the Diploma in Advanced European Studies is made up not only of university professors, which account for about 20% of the faculty. They teach at different universities around Italy and around Europe. But most of our professors actually come from the professional world. So some of them have worked or are still working at the institutions like the Commission, European Commission, or Parliament or Council, or also at EFSA, the European Food Safety Authority, which is a European agency that is based in Parma. EU IPO is about is based in Spain, and several other institutions also around are represented in the faculty. But also we have experts and professionals who work in this sector, in European affairs, in the private sector. You can see a detailed list of our professors on our website with all with the most important description of their current or previous jobs, in case they are now retired. Some of them were working at the institutions and have recently retired. Well, about this type of faculty, what makes really the difference is that being it, considering the fact that it includes professionals, the approach is of the course is very practical. So we give a theoretical part, but also and especially a practical part, thanks to the experience, day-to-day experience of the professors. So, who are our students? Our students, of course, they must at least have a 3-year bachelor's degree, because the program, the DASE program, is a graduate program, is a postgraduate program. So, university studies, at least at a bachelor's level. So if you're currently studying at bachelor and about to finish, we can also accept conditional applications from students that are going to graduate within the next few weeks, or maximum by November. In general, except in case of exceptions, we will have to analyze each single case with the university. What kind of studies are we looking for our students? We are much open about this. Since the program is an interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary program, we can accept students from various backgrounds. So we are not limited to law, not limited to economics, not limited to international relations, but we have a wide spectrum of possibilities. So, of course, the majority of our students and also of our alumni have a background in law, economics, political science, international relations. But we have had very many students who have actually studied different things, like languages, especially if English, French, and Italian, but not only, humanities in general, journalism, and other social sciences. This is rather common indeed. We can also accept, evaluate, assess applications from students with different backgrounds, even technical backgrounds, scientific backgrounds, because actually, as we will see later, the study program of DASE also deals with specific policies of the European Union that actually touch on different subjects, even technical subjects. And the institutions are often on the look for people with a technical and scientific background, but who also can deal with the regulatory part. So this is quite interesting in this case. About the course structure, we first of all have to mention that the program, as you see from the name, Diploma and Master in Advanced European Studies, is made up, includes two phases, two parts. The first phase leads to the diploma. The diploma is a certificate that the college issues, and that is reached after attending our courses, doing our exams from October to January in the first semester, and from February to June or beginning of July for the second semester. So this is the first phase that leads to this diploma. The course includes, it is not only, as I said before, it is not only lectures. It is something different. It gives preparation on also soft skills and presentations, because we actually have a lot of individual and group activities in the program. So besides lectures, of course, and seminars, conferences, we have a lot of group work or individual work that leads to presentations. And this is very important because it gives the opportunity to our students who maybe have never worked so far, not all of them, of course. We also have students who have already had work experiences, but let's say for those students who are straight coming from the universities, then this gives the opportunity to actually work in class, so work in groups, do some public speaking and all this. A lot of exercises with the professors in class. Second phase, so once the students, our students have passed the exams, so I basically, during summer, they will be heading for the master session, the master part, so the second phase. The university master is granted, the qualification is granted by the University of Parma, because the University of Parma is one of our founding members. So we have a specific agreement with the university based on which the students that have enrolled in the DASE program will be admitted to a master, a university master, first level master or second level master. We will see that more in detail based on their backgrounds. What is necessary to complete the program, so through the second phase, phase 2, the university master? So each student, after completing exams, will have to carry out a traineeship, an internship, that is mandatory for the master program, and write a thesis. So the thesis will be supervised by one of our professors from the college on an EU subject, so something dealing with what students have dealt with during the year, or specifying, getting some more specific research on some topic. All in, the whole process, so phase 1 and phase 2, will be concluded within one academic year. Just for you to know, for those who are non-Italians, because Italians are familiar with the Italian system, but for those who are not from Italy, just for you to know, one academic year doesn't mean 12 months. It's a bit more. It's over 18 months, because the academic year actually starts around September and is concluded in March, April of the following year. Just a second, yeah. Okay, so about the university master. This is important for non-Italians, for those students who are not, as I also said before, familiar with the Italian system. The university master is of two types in Italy. It is something that is not the laurea magistrale, it is something different. First level university master is a program that can be attended by students who have a bachelor's degree, so those who have studied until the bachelor's level. And those students will be admitted to first level university master in European policies, giving 65 credits ECTS by the University of Parma. Whereas students who already hold a master's degree, a laurea magistrale upon admission at DASE, will be heading for the second level university master in European studies, giving 68 credits, always by the University of Parma. So the defense of thesis will occur, there are usually 2 or 3 sessions, but the last session will be around March, April for those who will enroll now. The last session will be March, April 2026. So this is the timing. I will now leave the floor to my colleague Lorena, who will talk about the study program. And in the meantime, I would like to welcome Miss Elena Antoniozzi, who has just joined, and she will be speaking after this presentation. Thank you.
Well, as Luisa has just said, I will explain to you the DASE study program, so its structure and the main courses that you can attend during the academic year. So the program is divided into 2 semesters. At the beginning of the first semester, as you can see from the slide, there will be the introductory courses related to law, economics, and international relations. Then, after this first phase, students will attend the courses known as core courses, because they are at the basis of the European studies, which are history of the European integration and documentary sources, and European Union institutional framework, and also European Union legal system and budget principles, and European Union fundamental rights and values, and also European Union single market and fundamental freedoms. At the same time, during the first semester, there will be also other specific courses. They will be held also during all the academic year, so specific courses such as EU economic, monetary and banking union, EU external cooperation, neighborhood policies, next generation EU, and also Green Deal course. Then another part of our program is the second semester. And during the second semester, as you can see as you can read on the slide, students can characterize their path. And I think that this is the most important aspects of our program, because today is so important to be also specialized, so to know something really well, really in deep. And as you can see, we offer 3 kinds of specializations, so 3 paths. The first one in EU economic governance and external relations. So just to know, you will study EU as a foreign actor, also EU trade policy, and also the economics of European integration, and also many other courses. Then the second path that you can choose is EU policies. In this specialization, you can study, for example, EU projects, management and research policy in Europe, EU food safety, and also EU health policy, common agricultural policy, EU energy policy. So a lot of trend topics in today's Europe. And then we have as last one the multidisciplinary path, which is it's new, something new, because in the multidisciplinary approach, you can choose your path. You can choose and build your study program, not alone, but in agreement with the scientific director and the academic assistants. But you can also mix some courses who are held in the economic path with ones who are held in the EU policies path. So you can choose your courses thanks to this path. At the same time, during all the academic year, we offer a lot of optional courses, which are so important to deep your specialization. And these optional courses will be available if at least 5 students request to attend them. But I think that they are so interesting because, for example, we have hard science, data protection, diplomacy and negotiation skills, intellectual property and trademarks, EU and sports. So some courses who are not so common, but really specific of one of a kind of an area. And also many other courses. Now I will leave the floor to Luisa, and she will continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorena. I will quickly go through the following slides.
Sorry to interrupt, Luisa, but I'm wondering if we ask now Elena to say something, because we don't want to take more of her time. So.
Sure. So I will leave the floor to Elena then. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me today. I attended the DASE 3 years ago, if I'm not wrong, and I basically did exactly what was explained now. So I give you a little bit of my background and where I am today, so you have a bit of perspective. I graduated in law in Italy, and I attended first DASE, and then I had the master from the University of Parma. And I specialize in one specific, in one of the specific programs that were shown now. I'm Italian, so one of the added value that I liked a lot about this master program is that I had the opportunity of, first of all, doing exams in 3 languages, Italian, English, and French. And there are a lot of language courses which are available the whole year. So this is, for me, it was an extreme added value. I did exactly what was explained now. So I attended, let's say, the generic courses at the beginning. And then we had, if I'm not wrong, we had a tutoring appointment. So we were assisted in selecting what we're really interested in order to specialize our path. For me, I specialize in transfer policy, and I defended my thesis in transfer policy. And one of the most important things that this master gave me, apart from the fact of having a lot of contacts, professor and academic assistant are always available. And this is, so thanks for that, because this is extremely useful. We had a lot of activities because at the time there was COVID, so the master was held online. But despite the COVID, we had a lot of appointment with professor. I remember we organized like aperitivo session after the courses, and it was absolutely nice because this particular program puts you in contact with people who are currently working for the European institution or are absolutely top specialized people in all of Europe. So for me, it was an extremely unique and enriching experience. But this goes a little bit without saying, it's a postgraduate program. So please correct me if I'm wrong, but what is expected from students, it's also to be a little bit active. So I came from a classical Italian university, and we had the typical lecture approach, while during this program, you will also have, let's say, not extracurricular activities, but specific projects. So you will have presentation. I remember we did a moot court, and with Professor De Feo, we also did a presentation during your course. So it's also an experience to acquire skills that with the classical Italian university you don't have. Then this master offers also you Erasmus Plus possibility. So it's a placement Erasmus, and you have a reimbursement. And for us, I don't know how's the situation now, but in order to complete the master program, we had a compulsory trainship to do. And for me, this was the way to arrive to Brussels. So I enrolled in this master because I knew I wanted to arrive in Brussels. And as I said, I had a law background, and in the meantime, I passed the bar exam. So I used this trainship opportunity to go in a top law firm in Brussels. And since there, I never left. But let's say this master in this course was the occasion and the opportunity for me to arrive here. So it was, as said, extremely useful. After this first trainship, I did another trainship in a trade association that honestly selected me because I was writing my master thesis on a specific topic. So it was also a question of luck, but this was extremely useful to write my thesis because this trade association was working exactly on that topic, which was Green Deal and rail transport. And then I was selected for a trainship in the parliament, so a Schumann trainship. And then I work again in a trade association, and nowadays I'm working in DG presidency in the parliament. So I don't know if you have specific question or something that I can maybe help you with as a, let's say, a witness of this great master. I'm happy to reply to any question or to any curiosity that you might have. And what I said, what I value a lot about this master is that you are put in contact with professors, so extremely important academic people, but also practitioner. And it's a piece of advice that I might give is like, don't be shy, because my experience was extremely great also because professors are very keen on giving you advice, giving you opportunities also, because it was my case. So my master thesis supervisor, we met several times, and he was extremely available and extremely at disposal also for career advice. So to me, it was an extremely good opportunity. And so, of course, I would strongly suggest this master program. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Elena, for your speech. And I don't know if Professor De Feo would like to add something to this.
No, still in this idea not to take more time to Elena. I don't know if there is some question directly to her, and then we can continue with the rest of the presentation.
Okay. I can't see questions. I don't know whether Luke has seen questions specifically for Elena. Probably not. So we will leave. Okay. So maybe if there are questions, Elena, I will maybe let you know, and we'll see.
Louisa, also, if you want to give my contact, I'm more than happy to reply and to provide feedbacks, even one-to-one. Maybe it's useful. So don't be shy, reach out. I'm very happy to help. And thanks again for having me today. It was a
Thank you
pleasure
very
meeting you
much,
all.
Elena. That's
Thank
been
you,
very
Elena.
kind of you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye bye.
Goodbye. So we will go back to the presentation. So we have just stopped here. This is a short slide just to let you know that the European College of Parma also deals with EPSO training. So we will be starting some e-learning courses that give preparation for EPSO, European Personnel Selection Office competition tests. And we will also give the opportunity to our students to somehow attend these courses or have specific meetings for them on this subject. To go back to working languages, as also Elena pointed out, as I said at the beginning, the course is multilingual. We now have no longer courses that are taught in French, but still if students want to take exams in French, I think they will also still be able to. But English is the prevailing language. And Italian, we have courses in Italian in the second semester only. So the first semester is fully in English. About French, as well as for Italian and English, of course, we also provide language courses, as Elena also said. There are 3 levels of Italian and French. So starting from absolute beginners to intermediate and advanced, and 2 levels of English. So 2 groups of English, if applicable. And these courses are especially held during the first semester, and they are then once a week, usually more or less on average during the second semester, because students during the second semester have to concentrate more on project work and all the lectures that they will be dealing with. Another feature of the program is that we do study visits. So study visits around Parma, and the most important one is to EFSA, European Food Safety Authority, that is, as I said before, based in Parma, and we usually have one visit there. Oh, sorry, there's some problem with the slides, they move. And also we organize, depending on the year, also other study visits to companies or to other organizations in Parma and beyond. But the most important one is the study trip we have to Brussels. So we take our students to Brussels to visit the Commission, the Parliament, the Council, and usually other institutions that are there, and also private companies and different areas of dealing with different subjects. Okay. Parma European City, as I said before, Parma since 2004 has been hosts the European Food Safety Authority, so it is really European. It has become even more European in this sense, but also by its history, it has a European type of culture. It has also had French domination, let's say, in the past, so it's a European city in its culture. It's student-friendly and offers a lot of cultural opportunities and social opportunities. It is a small city. It is, for those who are not familiar on Parma, for those who are maybe from other countries than Italy, Parma is a northern city located in northern Italy, south of Milan, about 1 hour from Milan, and 1 hour north of Bologna. So it is, you can easily reach north and south and central Italy within a few hours, more or less. It was Italian Capital of Culture back in 2020-21. So, and it is a UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy, because the area around Parma is renowned all over the world for its food products and food engineering industry. A few words about traineeships. As I said before, the master, in order to get the university master, a traineeship shall be must be carried out. As Elena said, there is the possibility to go for an Erasmus Plus internship, traineeship. This is an opportunity with Erasmus, within the Erasmus program, thanks to the University of Parma. Thanks to these traineeships in Brussels and around Europe, most students who have actually carried out the internship have had the opportunity to get to know the EU bubble from within and start building a network, looking around on other opportunities. And as the same as Elena did, many students have actually remained in Brussels ever since and still work there. A few words on career development. We also give help on CV drafting and to prepare for the interviews. So we also try to help students also in this.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Maybe we can open for some QA questions, or so we can.
I think we still have a couple of minutes left. I think we should go continue making sure that the next slides are presented, because it's about admissions as well. But in about a couple of minutes, we can go to questions. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so about career prospects, most of our students aim at reaching Brussels, but it is also important to know that in each European country on the national territory, there are a lot of opportunities for students looking for a job in EU affairs. So don't think that Brussels is the only opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities also in your home countries if you're European citizens, and if you're non-European citizens, then the path is different, but you can look for opportunities on working, for example, on EU projects for cooperation with other countries and a lot of these things. As you can read from this slide, the opportunities for types of jobs are very manifold. You can aim at be working not only in institutions, which is a different path, of course, because it goes through a very difficult selection process. But also you can be working on policy analysis, regulatory system, project management, funding, managing fundings, and for the lobby sector, law firms, for those of you who have a law background, even in companies and multinationals, because they have to deal with the regulatory system and have to be able to deal with the different directives and regulations given by the European Union. The alumni network includes over 1,000 graduates from 60 different countries. So we have a small group of students every year, but they come from different countries. And this shortly about applications. We're still open about applications, and until the 2nd of September, you can also apply for scholarships, for partial scholarships. To apply, you just have to download the application form, which you can see an outline here and send it by email together with your CV and your transcript and a copy of your document. I think I will have to go through quickly through the remaining slides. The scholarships. So there are several scholarships that are available. 10 are aimed for EU students. So the fee for attending the course is 5,000 euro, but if you are successful or selected for a scholarship, you may have a reduction on the fee, so 40% for EU citizens in case they are eligible in terms of income, and 50% for students from candidate countries and non-EU countries, provided that they are in line with the requirements. The presentation has come to a conclusion, and I would like really to thank you all for staying online and watching this webinar. I hope it has been interesting for you. I will give the floor back to Luke so that he can manage also questions.
Okay, great. Well, welcome and everyone again, because we had some people joining in late. And just to make sure, for that matter, we are recording the session. So just as mentioned in the chat, you can actually watch it from the start right after this this live session. Anyway, thank you for your questions. Let's go through them to make sure we get them answered for you if possible. First of all, question from Kodruta. She's always been passionate about international relations, great. And as a fellow debater and a MUN attender, having attended 7 United States conferences and having earned a C2 English level, then the question is, can I apply? Can Kodruta apply? Luisa, you're on mute, just to make sure if you're answering this.
I'm sorry, yes. Kodruta has a good level of English, right? She was
C2.
in the States. Yep. C2, well, yes, then no problem at all. And she has studied international relations.
So she's been passionate about it. I'm not sure studied. She's done 7 United Nations conferences, but let me check if I can see that.
She will be in line with the program if she attended 7 UN conferences. Yeah. Anyway, the best thing is for her maybe just to send in the application, and we will get back to her and see if everything is fine. But considering these 2 things, I understood. I think it. She's eligible for applying, yes.
Great, thank you for that. Next question is from Sevdail, if I say that right. Sevdail is not from the EU. He asked, can I apply?
We also accept applications from non-EU citizens. And indeed, we have had a lot of students from non-EU countries. Yes, so you can send in your application and we will go through the selection process.
Perfect, great. Thank you. Just to make sure, in terms of application, since I know there's some people are already interested possibly to apply, I have actually attached the application form. So you can find it at the right bottom under apps, and there you see a handout. So if you click on that, you can actually go to the, you can actually download it right there. You should see the application form and get it right away to computer. And you can,
yeah, I think
I will post also the link to the site. Sorry, to just finalize that. I will also put the link to where to apply and for all the details how to submit that form.
Sorry,
go ahead, Alfredo.
Yes, the specific question on the start date, unless maybe Luisa can give the exact date.
I'm sorry, Alfredo, I think you were asking about the starting date?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to start, we should be starting on the 2nd or 3rd of October. So during the month of October, the actual date will be specified in the next few weeks, but more or less at the beginning of October.
Yeah, exactly. That was another question. I was going to read that one out, but the next question we have is, we had one from Marijn, who just, I saw wrote it when Elena was there, but she asked, how do you obtain a job at the European Commission? Now, Elena is not here anymore, unfortunately. She's busy at the work, but maybe if someone can add something to this.
I mean, the process is the same for all students. So there is an application form where you have to give details. And then if normally you are recruited by the service when they see specialization that is interesting for them. Is what even Elena said for the contract. So, and maybe I want to conclude drawing the attention on the so-called optional courses, because this can be the opportunity for your specific work, thesis, and studies, because it's a very more specific area, and it can be, let's say, interesting to specify more your profile.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hope that helped for everyone as well in that part. The next question from Kodruta is, how accessible are professors and academic advisors to students?
Where
Lorena,
professors,
yeah. Who can answer that? Sorry.
Well, professors are really accessible to students. As Helena said, they are, if they see something in a student, so if they see that the student is really interested into the subject, they are really at their disposal, and they are so accessible to give them all the advice for their future career.
Great, thank you. That is good to hear, and I hope that also answered the question for anyone who was considering and also was wondering about this. I see no further question in the question tab. However, I did see a question in the chat, but just make sure to write your questions in the questions tab, just to make sure we don't miss any. And also, if you have to leave, we understand that, but do let us know your polling feedback, please. I see still some people need to submit that, but thank you for letting us know, because then we can check a bit and also see what profile you have, and also it's very useful for the Institute to get that information from you and see if you're eligible to apply. So do let us know. Meanwhile, let me check a question from Taranjike, if I say that right. She has a BA in Disaster and Safety Management, an international program for occupational health and safety, pursuing a master on in environmental and sustainable management in Zimbabwe. Can I apply, is the question.
Yes. If you have a bachelor's degree and you're pursuing a master's degree, yes, you can apply. What is important is that when is your master's degree finishing? So maybe we can see that in detail. If you want to write to us, we can get back to you and discuss it individually, because we would need to understand more precisely what you are finishing now, when you are finishing your current studies. But as a profile, of course, you can
Great. Thank you. And that leads me to another question I saw in the chat. So that was from Mustafa, the total cost of the program. Can you maybe you mention that? Yeah.
tuition fees amount to 5,000 euro. But if a student is eligible for applying for a reduced fee, so let's say a partial scholarship, we suggest that they they apply within the partial scholarship scheme by the 2nd of September. So in case some income documents are not available with such a short notice, maybe you can send the provisional documents, and then you will provide within short time the official documents that may need some more days to be obtained.
Okay. All right. That is taken care of that question. Thank you very much. We have a couple minutes left for any questions that you may still have. So do take advantage of this time that you have with all these great experts on this program. And all your questions can be answered right here. Now, I also like to say, if you have joined late, please just stay on because you can then see the start of the webinar actually within minutes. It will restart. And also for people that are watching a recording, as I know nowadays a lot of people do, you have a lot of interactive options actually still at your fingertips. You can still answer the polls as well, so we can still get that information and check in with you. And also you can write your questions also still. Of course, we cannot answer them live right away. However, all the questions will be sent through to the staff of the university, and they can come back to you later. So do let us know. And yeah, having said that, I see a question from Taranike. What do we have to take? We can take care of it. Good question. Maybe people wonder, do you offer students with an accommodation at your campus?
No, our students look for their own accommodation. So around the city of Parma, the college is based within the main building of the University of Parma, so in the heart of the city, in the city center. And the best option is to look for a shared flat, or a room with other students around city. Parma is a small city, small town, so it is not far away from where we are, actually, anywhere, even the furthest parts of Parma are not far away from the center.
Okay. Thank you. And we're already getting thank yous as well. That's great to see. Before we round off, I see another question from Mustafa. If there's an option, some payment for installments, is that possible?
Yes, it is possible. So for admitted students, once they are admitted, they receive our admission letter. They will also be receiving the enrollment forms and documents. And there they will find the installment plan. But more or less, this is the scheme. So upon registration, we request that 500 euro are paid to confirm and secure the place. And then by mid-September, the first installment is due, and that is 1,500 euro. Whereas the rest of the payment will be due in several installments, more or less each about 500 euro throughout the year, so up until March, I think, March next year.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that. And with that, I think we're slowly rounding off the session. I see thumbs up. So that I think is answering that as well. We're getting, as mentioned, thank you. So that is great. I don't see further questions. I actually have a last question for the audience, for everyone. Last polling question. And again, if you haven't answered some of the polling, please do before you leave. We appreciate that. The last question is simply to basically grade us. Let us know how we did. So I'm going to put that on the screen right now, a little bit over my head, but right there. How do you feel the session went? Let us know, and we hope to get in some good grades from you. So far I see they're coming in. Great, thank you for that. And yeah, I hope the session was useful for you and it did meet your expectations, so to say. And without further ado, I have put the link where to apply in the chat. So there you can find all information. You can download the application form in the handout section, as mentioned on the right under apps. And well, I see just on the verge of it, we do have one more question. Let's take that one from Taranike. Is there a chance of working part-time while studying? I may know that many students wonder sometimes about that, if they cannot get a scholarship or anything to help finance the studies.
Yeah, so of course, students are free to do whatever they want during their spare time, but it must be said that the program is a bit intensive, quite intensive indeed. So you will need to concentrate a lot on attending lectures and doing and providing all the assignments. So working in groups and preparing presentations, this required a lot of time. But still, there are students who can manage also some student jobs. So they of course can do that, maybe in the evenings or at weekends. For international students, non-EU students who need a visa and therefore a study permit, a permit of stay for study reasons, the Italian legislation applies. So in this case, students are allowed to work while studying, non-EU students, but they can just work up to 20 hours per week, not more, if I'm not wrong. I mean, maybe I'm not really super up to date on this, but it used to be like that until some time ago, so I think it's still feasible. But on our side, we cannot provide jobs, so it's the students going out and looking for student jobs.
Great. Well, thank you very much for that. And also, so thank yous again from other ones, also Taranike, who actually gave her that already indicated she wants to be considered for the next enrollment. So that is a great ending of this session, because we do it all for you to make sure that we answer your questions and you can hopefully join in Parma next year. So we hope you to see there, or in the coming year, I should say. Having said that, thanks everyone for joining. Maybe last word over to you, Luisa, just for thanking the audience. And I would like to thank you, your time, Lorena, and Alfredo's, of course, as well. And yeah, last word over to you before we close the session. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Luke, for managing this webinar so smoothly. And first of all, I would like to thank the audience for being there throughout this session, even those who will be attending, watching later on the recorded version. Thank you very much. Do not hesitate to reach out on our website. You will find our contact details. Also, Luke has shared them in the documentation he has shared. So just send an email. We will get back to you via WhatsApp, by telephone. We can arrange video calls, individual video calls, to give you information on details that maybe have not been dealt with in this session. And thank you very much for your time in this session. And I also wish to thank Lorena and Professor De Feo for their time at this webinar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to everyone. Goodbye.